Who'd have thought a creaky old rocking chair could set a whole neighborhood on fire? In the quiet cul-de-sacs of Willowbrook Estates, where manicured lawns and friendly waves were the norm, a storm was brewing. It all started with a single piece of furniture and a woman named Vivian Caldwell, the iron-fisted HOA president who ruled our little community like her personal kingdom. When my neighbor, Tom Harrison, a 78-year-old Vietnam vet with a heart as big as his stories, found a neon orange citation slapped on his front door, I knew trouble was knocking. $500 for my rocking chair? Tom muttered, his calloused hands shaking as he clutched the paper. This was Ellen's. We bought it for our 40th anniversary. His voice cracked and my chest tightened. That chair wasn't just wood and varnish, it was a piece of his late wife, a memory of sunsets they'd watched together. I promised to go with him to the HOA meeting that night, figuring we'd sort it out. Boy, was I wrong. The community center was packed, buzzing with whispers and side-eyes. Vivian sat at the head table, her face like a slab of granite. Tom stepped up to the mic, his voice steady but heavy. This chair's been on my porch for 15 years. Ellen and I used to sit there every evening. Why's it a problem now? Before he could finish, Vivian's gavel cracked like a whip. Mr. Harrison, she said, her tone dripping with disdain, this isn't a nursing home. Willowbrook is a premium community. Your outdated furniture is dragging down our property values. The room went dead quiet. Tom's shoulders sagged as he shuffled back to his seat, and I felt my blood boil. A war hero, humiliated over a chair? No way was this right. I'd lived in Willowbrook for nearly a decade, moving here after my own stint in military. It used to be a place where neighbors swapped recipes and kids played tag in the streets. But 14 months ago, Vivian took over the HOA and turned it into her personal fiefdom. First, she banned garden gnomes, calling them tacky eyesores. Then wind chimes got the boot for noise pollution. Bird feeders? Gone because they supposedly lured vermin. Each rule came with fines that seemed to grow like weeds. But targeting Tom's rocking chair? That was a new low. Tom wasn't alone. Within days, 5 others got hit with citations. Lisa Carter, a young mom who rocked her baby to sleep on her porch, was told her white rocker was aesthetically offensive. George and Rosa Martinez, an elderly couple who'd been here 20 years, got fined for their matching oak chairs. Vivian called an emergency HOA meeting, claiming without a shred of proof that rocking chairs gave off a rural, outdated VYB that could slash property values by 8 fan tram. When I raised my hand to ask for EVY Denke, she steamrolled to the next topic. Non-compliance means escalating fines and legal action, she warned, her smirk daring us to defy her. All rockers must be gone in 72 hours. That weekend, I rallied the neighbors for a gathering at Tom's place. Nearly 30 people showed up, arms full of casseroles and lemonade, a quiet show of defiance. Tom's eyes glistened as he shared stories of Ellen and that chair, how they'd picked it out to celebrate 40 years of marriage. I'm not moving it, he said, his jaw set. They can find me till kingdom come. We decided to fight back. As a former legal assistant, I dug into the HOA bylaws and struck gold. Not a single rule banned rocking chairs. Vivian had made it all up. No board approval, no homeowner vote. She was playing dictator, and we weren't ha-VYing it. Things got ugly fast. Vivian, fed up with what she called blatant rebellion, hired goons to enforce her rules. I was working from home when I heard shouting. Peering out, I saw 2 guys in uniforms trying to yank Mrs. Delaney's wicker rocker off her porch while she begged them to stop. I bolted outside just as they marched toward Tom's house. There he was, standing tall on his porch, phone in hand, recording as the men demanded his chair. This is my property, Tom said, calm but iron firm. You've got no right to be here, and you sure as hell aren't taking my stuff. The contractors hesitated, muttering about HOA orders, but Tom was live streaming the whole thing. I shared the link in our group chat, and within minutes, neighbors swarmed in, phones up, filming the standoff. The goons backed off, tails between their legs, but the real chaos was just starting. Tom's VY Deo blew up overnight. racking up 2 million VYUs by dawn. News vans camped out at Willowbrook's entrance, reporters hounding us for quotes. The rocking chair rebellion, they called it, and it caught fire. Social media lit up with the rocking chair rebellion trending for 3 days straight. Vi VYN's LinkedIn got buried in hate comments, tanking her shiny real estate career. She fired back with a community-wide email, accusing us of ruining the neighborhood's image and threatening lawsuits against anyone talking to the press. That's when I said enough. With Tom's blessing, we filed a police report for trespassing and attempted theft, backing it with his VY Ral VY Deo and my bylaw research. The cops were skeptical at first, but the EVY Denke was airtight. We'll look into this, Officer Daniels said, his tone shifting, especially if HOA funds are being misused. What we didn't expect was how fast Vi VYN's house of cards would collapse. The police dug deeper and found she'd enforced dozens of fake rules. Worse, the Dula $20,000 in fines she'd collected over the past year, all sitting in a personal account she controlled, not the HOA's. The next HOA meeting was a circus standing room only, the air thick with tension. Vi VYN strutted in late, still acting like she owned the place, launching into a PowerPoint about acceptable garden hose colors. Mid-slide, Officer Daniels and 2 other cops walked in. Vi VYN Caldwell, he said, voice cutting through her spiel. You're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and criminal trespassing. The room exploded in gasps. Vi VYN's face went white as a sheet. This is absurd, she shrieked as they cuffed her. I was protecting our property values. You'll all regret this when your homes are worthless. Even as they read her rights, she ranted about eyesore rockers and neighborhood ruin. The charges were no joke. Multiple counts of fraud and embezzlement, with up to 5 years in prison and due law $50,000 in fines. Homeowners piled on with CI/VYL lawsuits. Within a day, Vi VYN's real estate firm fired her reputation shredded. At her arraignment, the judge laid out the charges, and for the first time, Vi VYN's smug mask cracked. She whispered frantically to her lawyer, eyes wide with panic. Bail was set at Dula $25,000 poetic justice, almost matching the money she'd swiped from us. As they led her away, she muttered, "But the property values." Her voice faded, drowned by the weight of her own downfall. Willowbrook was free again. Tom's rocking chair still sits proudly on his porch, joined by others as neighbors reclaim their right to a little comfort. That old chair didn't just hold memory as it sparked a rebellion that tore down Tyrant. But it's got me thinking, and I want to hear from you. Was Vi VYN just a power-hungry bully, or did she genuinely believe she was SA-VYing the neighborhood? Should HOA presidents have this much control, or are they a recipe for disaster? And what would you do if someone tried to take a piece of your home's heart? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you're Team Rocking Chair, and subscribe for more stories that'll make you cheer, jeer, or maybe even shed a tear. Let's keep this rebellion rolling.